be Mr. Kent Samuelsson, who is the founder of SAMSTE, talking about solar hybrid. Please, Kent, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. I will try to share my screen here, if it's possible. Share. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Like now?
Perfect. Now it's presentation mode.
Yes.
Very good.
Okay, my name is Kent Samuelsson. I'm from SAMSTE, and we are a company making mostly energy efficient solutions, and mostly buildings, but we have other applications as well. So this is our, we call it invention. It's a cold PVT, as its name is cold photovoltaic thermal. So its function is like a normal solar panel, but it also collects the heat from the backside of the panel. So in that case, we increase the efficiency of the panel. We have done this since 2014, approximately. But we are a small company and we are growing very fast. But these projects have been running now for a couple of years, and the results are very promising. So this is our solution. We put the panels on the roof and we harvest the heat from the panels, make them more efficient, up to 20% actually in Sweden. And then we put the heat down in the ground, because in Sweden we need a lot of heat in the winter. And in the winter we collect the heat with a heat pump. And with this technology, we can raise the efficiency of the heat pump up to 20%. And of course, we harvest the electricity and put it in the heat pump or to the house or into the grid. In warmer climate, we see that there is not so much heat needed. So instead, we are heating pools, we are making hot water, and we make a lot of cooling, of course. And the electricity is still needed. But we think in Indonesia, we think we can make a hot water for industries, and maybe there are, I don't know, but it must be needing for hot water or pool heating or heating other processes. This is a comparison in Sweden with a normal PV. You get about 300 kilowatt hours a year, and from a thermal panel with the same area, like 1.65 square meters, you get 825 kilowatt hours. But this is hot water. From a SAMSTE installation, we get more electric power, and we get a lot of low quality heat. We make it to quality heat with a heat pump. So this is what we think we are investigating in Spain now, and the solar panels get so hot, so they don't get so much efficiency. So when we cool them down, we can get up to 100% efficiency from the panels. And then if we harvest the heat and make it useful in some way, we can have a lot of energy from the panels. And in the night, we can reverse the function. So if we put the heat down in a energy storage or something, we can put it out into the sky in the night. So the function of the CPVTs are bidirectional, you can say. In night we can get it out, and in the day we can get it in. We have a very easy installation procedure of this hybrids. It's push fittings. You just click it on, and it's almost as easy as installing a normal PV. So, and we are using low temperature system, so we don't get any high temperatures in the system. The patent of our invention is just the thermal protection of the piping system, so we don't get the heat. The higher temperatures we don't get them in the system. And just, this is off topic, but just to show another application, we have a drying process, very efficient to dry everything, beans, crop, wood, what you name. And then we use the heat from the hybrids to enhance the process, so we can get it fossil free if it's the right conditions. But then we use the solar power to power the process electrically, and we use the thermal power to feed the process with the thermal heat. And then we use the heat in the powers in the flow itself to get a very efficient process. So that's what SAMSTER dealing about. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kent. Thank you for this fascinating presentation. Harvest the heat with easy installation, energy efficient solutions and innovations, solar panel that also collects the heat and improves the efficiency of the solar panel. Collect the heat with a pump during the winter in warmer climate, but however, also making hot water and cooling for the countries that needs that. Thank you very much, and please get in contact with Kent for further information. Now, over again to my colleague in Smart City Sweden West, Sophia McConnell, who will take us on a virtual tour on sustainable transport and mobility solutions. She will showcase solutions related to electrification, public transport, and the city's latest initiative, the Green City Zone. Please, Sophia, the floor is yours. Sophia, are you with us? Furman, are you with me?
Yes, I'm with you. I will check for Sophia.
There might be some delays because of the virtual tour. However,
Yes.
I haven't.
Now it works.
There she is. Perfect.
Great, because I cannot myself. Hi again, everyone. Now we will have a closer look at mobility and transport solutions in West Sweden and specifically in Gothenburg. So Sweden has the target to become climate neutral by 2045, and we will also have no emissions from transport by 2030. So, and this is important for our region because we have a very large cluster for transport and mobility companies. And for example, Geely, the Chinese company, they have invested in a large innovation center that will host 3,500 people. But we also have both manufacturing and development of the companies Volvo Cars, Volvo Bus, Volvo Trucks, Volvo Construction Equipment, etc. But I will take you on a tour and we will have a look at some of the trends in our city. We will start with the movie before we look at the virtual tour. But the three large trends in our city, as well as all over the world, are of course electrification, autonomous vehicles, and also smart delivery of goods in the inner city, what we often call last mile deliveries. So I will now share my screen and I will take you on a short tour.
Sophia, there is no sound, if you can hear me.
Okay, so I will speak. Yes, we want to make it very enjoyable to go by public transport. And this is, for example, an electric area that crosses the river. It's a part of the public transport in Gothenburg and very popular. Also for people with bicycles. But it's also important for reaching the environmental targets for the city. We also have bus lines that are electrified. And since they are electric, we have the indoor bus stops. Yeah, so they can be used both in hospitals and shopping malls. Yes, so here you see the electrified garbage truck. So both quiet and emission-free and very nice for the people who don't have to be woken up. Here we have the last mile delivery solutions. And it makes our city much more pleasant. It's much nicer than having trucks. Yes, so here you see some of our new developments that we plan in the city. So you are welcome to visit our city and you can have a tour with us and we'll take you around to look at the solutions. I'm sorry you could not hear the sound. It seems to be different for different solutions. Now I will share another, I will share the virtual tour now instead. Hang on. Oh, hang on, sorry. So now I think you can see the virtual tour.
Yes.
Yes, good. So we have developed a virtual tour where you can have a look around our city's transport and mobility solutions, and you can find out more details about them. And as I mentioned, you can see a lot about electrification, autonomous vehicles, but also last mile delivery. For example, you could see in the movie that we have this electric ferry in the city. It's very popular also because it's free of charge for everyone, also for us who goes with the bicycles. When you enter here, you can actually ride along. We have a river that crosses the center. Of course, there is a battery room. It's run from electricity. So you can have a look here also in the battery room and look around and see how it works. So the ferry takes 300 people and 90 bicycles. And it can also be charged at the different, where it stops along the quay. Now we will have a look at the self-driving truck that we have. It is a project that we run together with the university in our city. And the trucks will, for example, be introduced first in the port, but they are also very useful, for example, for mining areas, since they are emission-free. You can also enter the actual, I will first show you the sensors, sorry. So here you can see the different sensors that are important in order to have the autonomous vehicle. And you can read more about how it works. And here you have the view of when you're actually in the truck and it's running. And when you use this VR tool, you can look at it as we do now, but you can also have VR goggles, and then it will be an even better experience. And lastly, as we mentioned also in the movie, we have a lot of innovative solutions for inner city transport, like the cargo bikes that can go on the bicycle routes. But we also have something very exciting in the Johanneberg Science Park, and that's the self-driving robot they are trying out. So it can ride around the campus, I will show you again, and deliver small packages autonomously. Yes, and you can also ride along and have a look more at the electric bicycle cargo bikes. Okay, so but as Furman said in the beginning, we really hope that we can take you on a physical tour as well. So last but not least, I want to wish you a warm welcome to our city. I will hand you my contact details, so you're always welcome to contact us. And depending on what you are interested in, we make a tailor-made program for you, where you can meet the experts and companies in our city, and also the city officials. So with that, I wish you a warm welcome, and thank you for letting me have this presentation. Over to you, Lydia.
Thank you. Once again, thank you, Sophia. Excellent. Target, climate neutral by 2035. Once again, thank you for sharing this with us. 3 trends in the city: electrification, autonomous vehicles, smart delivery within the city, what we call last mile delivery. And as mentioned before, and as Sophia mentioned, you can access all that is showcased in today's program on our website, smartcitysweden.com, until the physical visit. Now, over to a company presentation by Rasmus Bergström, who is the CEO of Battery Loop. We're eager to know more about how you can support your own electrified and digitalized system. Please, Rasmus, tell us more about this.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon to you in Indonesia. The area is very important for me, as our daughter is born in Singapore after living there a number of years. Briefly and short, Battery Loop, it's part of Stena Recycling. Stena Recycling is a company within the Stena sphere, which is one of the biggest private-owned companies in the Scandinavian areas. We're located here in Gothenburg, and as Sophia said, the electrification of the city goes quick, and the electrification of the society goes very, very quick. As you probably know, in the next coming 10 years, in Europe, we will go from about 1.4 million electric vehicles to over 30 million electric vehicles. This means, of course, we will have a challenge for charging infrastructure. We will have a challenge for power restraints. And what we're doing within Battery Loop, we see those challenges as opportunities. And I will explain to you very briefly about what it is. As you know, the electrification area is there. It will come, and it's very, very strong. And we see daily news in the European press and media about electrification, about targets going full electric, going CO2 neutral, closing down cities to not allow fuel-driven cars. What we do in Battery Loop is we build energy storage system and the digital interface to charging or buildings. We see then that we can use second-use batteries, because when a vehicle is end of life, it is still tremendous lot of capacity in that battery. About 70 to 80% of the power is still in the battery, which means we can reuse it into a new application. We, by that, can offer the different OEMs a possibility to build new storage systems. We also see in Europe that there is a change in the energy system, becoming more and more renewable. Wind, we're talking about solar. This means we are having a possibility for energy storage to move the energy in time and space. We also see, when we talk to the different OEMs in Europe, where shall I charge my car? So there's a limitation based upon power restraints, and this is what we're working with. What we do then, we do with our energy audits and energy experts, we do predictions and prognosis. How is the limitations in the power grid? What will happen when we have trucks that are electrified? What will happen when we have personal vehicles that are electrified? What will happen when we have scooters that are electrified? What will happen when we have trucks? And we do build models and actually say, if we change the power curves, like you see here, we can optimize it, and we can by that save cost, and we can increase revenue for the customer. We have been focusing on three main area segments, and that's maybe not so strange that we're looking at this, because if you look in Gothenburg, we are on the port side. We just heard from Sofia. The ports are going more and more electrified. The ferries are going electrified. We have within the group ferry lines that should be fully electrified, going 3-hour trip over to Denmark and back. We also see the big logistics center. The west part of Sweden is important for logistic into Sweden. Gothenburg is the biggest port in Sweden. So we have many logistics centers. They are as well going electrified with buses, trucks, etc., and solar. We also then, of course, see on the real estate, because where shall you and I charge our electric vehicle or our electric bike? So the real estate is important. And the building of more buildings within the city limitations is very important to actually support the power. So we focus on these three areas, where the key is, how do you charge your truck, ferry, or building or car? So what we do then is we are building a battery, the blue here. We're connecting it to the central hub. We have an energy management system, means software issues and hardware, where we steer the complete system. And we have an analytic functionality with machine learning and artificial intelligence to secure that the vehicle is charged with enough, the house is charged, the ferry is charged, or we sell it back into the grid to support the complete system for the energy and the power. Very, very brief, what Battery Loop is doing. We are delivering systems as we're talking, and what you see right now is one of the systems, which means it's a container, which means as well the customer can move it when it's time for that. And we are gladly supporting the electrification area and drive to net zero for our customers and the society, which is an important step going forward. Thank you very much. Brief introduction of Battery Loop, and hope you will have a good day in Indonesia.
Thank you, Rasmus. Thank you very much. Many challenges ahead of us. That was the start of your presentation, that you quickly got into the opportunities. So challenges as opportunities. So get in contact with Battery Loop. That is a part of Stena Recycling. You talked about the tremendous of power in the batteries that can be reused in new products, so you can optimize and increase revenue for the customers. 3 segments: logistics centers, ports, real estate. Very exciting, very interesting. Please get in touch with Rasmus Bergström at Battery Loop. And now quickly over to Tadeusz Tedje from Travector. You are the consultant and sustainable transport at Travector, and you will talk about how to get a better understanding of travel behavior in order to plan the cities of tomorrow. Please, the floor is yours.
Thank you. That's right. I'll try to share my screen. Here we go. Stop share. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Great. Yes, great. Yes, my name is Tadeusz Tedje, and I will very shortly present a new tool my company has developed lately, which is a tool to collect travel data in a better way. Because, well, we have heard about solution now, a concrete solution, but it's also very important, like to know how people travel, how they do their trips in cities to actually be able to plan in the best way for the future and for sustainable futures. So that is about what it is about. Very shortly about the company, it's called Travector Traffic, and we are offering transport and research and development services and consultancy services in the field of transport and mobility planning. And we are about 60 consultants. So yeah, and our aim is like to develop more sustainable transport in cities, basically. But yes, why did we develop this new application? Because nowadays travel surveys are often phone interviews, paper, web questionnaires, and they have a great deal of problems. It's time consuming, it costs a lot. And also the quality of the data you get out of these kind of questionnaires are quite poor sometimes. Especially it's difficult for people that get surveyed to remember how they traveled the day before, and so it's difficult to know and to estimate travel times and travel distances. So to face this problem and to get better understanding, we decided to develop an application that is called TravelView to do this job of travel surveys in a better way. And it's done by it basically is like to use smartphones from individuals and to let the phone do the job. So the principle is that you download the application, and then the application runs in the background and collects automatically trips, and then the user can or has to check every day how the trips that have been logged and can correct. So it's a combination of technology and human to get greater quality. And the application collects automatically start times, end times, mode of transportation, distance, speed, and routes, but even also activities that is like work or leisure. So start times for activities, end times as well, type of activity, and where it is. And then you can add on to the application a questionnaire so the people can answer a few questions. So it looks like a bit like this. The interface, user interface looks like that. As a user, you can see like every day how you've been traveled and where. You can also see where you've been like traveling in the city, or where you live, or where you work. And then you can see also a summary of your trips in times and distance. And you can do a great deal of analysis, and obviously you can do like the classical modal split analysis to see how people travel in a certain area and which mode of transport they use. You can also get average travel length with different transport modes, but you can also have travel length distribution for different kind of modes of transport. Here, bicycle trips. So we can see that most of bike trips in this specific survey have been done between 1 and 3 kilometers. Or you can also get information on travel destination, how often you go to different destination and how long you stay there. An important and new aspect is that with this kind of survey, you also get a great deal of geographical information and heat maps on where people have been traveling on the network level. And this is very interesting for planners to be able to improve and optimize the network for bikers or for a pedestrian or for collective transportation. You can actually see where people, which link in the system people use most. So that is very interesting, and this is something typically you can't get in a traditional survey. Yes, and you can of course do a lot more, but I don't have any time to present that. Today, TravelView data, we've been using it all over Europe, mostly in Scandinavian, Sweden, of course. We've done also travel surveys in many cities in Sweden, obviously, and in Gothenburg as well. But even in Vietnam, so it's getting international, and that's fun. And yeah, if you want to try out the application, it's very easy. It's just about downloading TravelView on App Store, Google Play, and choose the survey that is called Donate Data, and just start logging your trips, so everyone can just try out and see how it works. But it's just about getting in contact with us if you are interested about it, because more and more it's important to have like good understanding how people like travel behavior to better plan the future, and that's the idea behind, basically. So thank you so much, and yeah, you can definitely come in contact with me to get more information. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Very exciting about travel behavior, TravelView, collecting travel data in a better way, and how do people travel, and how can we plan for a more sustainable future? Very interesting, Thaddeus, and thank you for being with us today. Also, as mentioned, please do get in touch with us, do get in touch with the speakers directly through the chat or through us, Smart City Sweden. Now, over to another very exciting presentation. I will hand over the floor to Mr. Ted Göransson, who is the Managing Director of Scania Representative Office in Indonesia. We will hear about Smart City Bus Solutions by Scania. Please, Mr. Göransson, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Lydia. Can you hear me and see me?
Yes, we can both see you and hear you. Excellent.
Great. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the invite. Very interesting to see so many smart city solutions. I especially like the grow pipes, Michael. So very interesting. Oh, Christer from Grow Pipes. Really interesting. I will actually start, before I introduce myself a bit in Scania, I will show a short video clip, and I will paste the link to YouTube in the meeting chat if you have issues watching through Zoom. But I will also try to share it on my screen. So let me see if I get this to work. Share screen, share sound. And let's try.
Det är väldigt intressant projekt utifrån flera perspektiv. Om man börjar med det faktum att Klimatförändring är den största utmaningen i Sverige när det gäller transporter. Och transporter måste vi hitta nya lösningar. Det pågår en stor omställning inom hela transportsektorn. Det pågår en stor omställning inom energisektorn och här kan vi få den synergierna på plats som verkligen visar sig i det här projektet.
Här har vi Bilsta kraftverk. Det är ett av de 3 kraftverken som Hjälpkraft har gjort i Bilstaån. Bilstaån är ju 3,5 kilometer lång. Här har vi gjort 3 omlöp, så kallade förbifarter. Och i Bilstaån så är det nu, man kan säga, hög andel biologisk mångfald i vår elproduktion. Här går fisk och andra akvatiska organismer. Och vi levererar ju då naturligtvis då den här elen då till elbussprojektet då i Östersund.
Nej, men det är ganska roligt för att vi har haft under den kallaste perioden i våras så hade vi minus 30 grader och den varmaste perioden nu i sommar har vi haft plus 30 grader. Och vi har ju inte haft några problem med våra elbussar. Utan de har ju gått i ur och skur om man säger så. Nej, men det är som jag säger, vi är imponerade. Det har vi alltid varit över Scanias sätt att ta sig fram. Det har flyttat på bra. Vi har haft en underbar övergång med förare som har varit jätteintresserade. Som har verkligen satt sig in i det här projektet och vill att det ska fungera på ett bra sätt. Och vi är jättenöjda med den satsning som har varit.
Ja, de flesta jag har pratat med, de tycker att det är riktigt skönt att åka. Det är tyst och så är det behagligt. Jag har till och med haft några som har velat åkt ett varv bara för att få känna på hur det är att åka elbuss. Så att ja, de flesta tycker det är underbart att åka.
Ja, det är ju skillnad på el och el också, därför att fossilproducerad el, exempelvis med kol, har ju då den stora klimatpåverkan kan man säga. Medan då den här elen som vi producerar här i Bilstaån, den är ju då helt förnybar och är också koldioxidneutral.
Det kommer att gå fort och det kommer att behöva gå fort för att vi behöver nå våra klimatmål. Och vi ser också ett efterfrågan som ökar mycket snabbare än vad vi trodde. Städerna vill ha en ren och tyst transport som är effektivt och det är något som vi kan erbjuda tillsammans.
Great. So not that often, maybe it's 30 minus degrees in Jakarta, but 30 plus for sure will you reach. Sorry. That was the autoplay function in YouTube. Okay, but now you can see me again, right?
Yes.
Yes. So, selamat sore Bapak-bapak dan Ibu-ibu. And good morning to everyone calling in from Sweden. My name is, as Lydia said, Ted Johansson, and I'm the Managing Director for Scania's representative office here in Indonesia. So I'm based in Jakarta, sitting actually now in my house in Cilandak. Scania, if you haven't heard about us, is a company and a world-leading provider of sustainable transport solutions. And that includes also smart city bus solutions for smart cities. And here in Indonesia, we are working together with United Tractors, a member of the Astra International Group, and our appointed distributor since 2004. And we today have a fleet of more than 400 buses city buses rolling in Indonesia, mainly in the Transjakarta network and lately or recently also in Surabaya. So at Scania, we see it as our purpose to drive the shift towards a sustainable transport system. And in line with the Science-Based Target Initiative, we have committed to reduce our CO2 emissions from our own operations by 50% until 2025. And from our products, the buses, for example, that our customers use by 20% during the same period. And of course, sustainable energy plays a critical role in our strategy. And electrification is no doubt the long-term solution. And we are currently developing and deploying electrical bus solutions for a number of cities around the world. For example, in Östersund, where we could see in this video. And these electric buses offer a great potential to lower the CO2 emissions drastically for cities. But to which extent this can be achieved depends largely on the energy mix in the grid. And as long as the grid is powered mainly by fossil fuel, the potential to lower CO2 emissions by using electric buses is quite limited. And that's why we also see renewable fuels like biogas and biodiesel playing a very important role, not least in the short to mid-term, to lower the CO2 emissions. Here, and those solutions are available here and now, while countries gradually are switching to a higher degree of renewable energy in the mix. And as we will see in the next very short video, renewable fuels also have the potential to address other issues that cities are having. So once again, I will link a video in the chat and try to share my screen again. Play.
Waste is a growing global problem. A mere 25% of all garbage worldwide is recycled, composted, or digested. 1/3 of all food produced goes to waste, including almost half of all the fruit and vegetables grown. Basically, all organic waste ends up in landfills. There, it decomposes and creates methane and carbon dioxide, which are released into the atmosphere with dire consequences. Landfills leaking toxics and chemicals that poisons our soils and freshwater supplies for no good reason. Yet, at the same time as the garbage heaps are piling up, in some places, a small revolution is taking place. In Sweden, 99% of all household waste is recycled and transformed into animal feed, biofertilizer, and energy. The landfills are basically gone, and instead of being a problem, waste has become a resource as food scraps and other organic waste are used to produce biogas, bioethanol, and biodiesel. Locally produced fuel leads to better environmental solutions and clean, low-carbon buses and trucks on a global scale. This means not only attractive transport, but also fewer landfills, lower carbon dioxide emissions, and less use of fossil fuels, improving environment and health, creating local jobs, and reducing climate change. Scania and our partners offer complete waste-to-fuel solutions with proven technology addressing your city's waste, energy, and emissions challenges. You can't run from the waste problem, but you can drive away from it in a Scania bus.
All right, so as we saw in this video, renewable fuels like biogas and biodiesel can address both the need to power the city's buses in a sustainable way and the need to manage the city's waste problem, a complete win-win solution. And depending on the energy mix in the grid, buses driving on renewable fuels have the potential to substantially lower the CO2 emissions even more than for electric buses. So for example, a bus powered by biogas can lower the emissions compared to a regular diesel bus by up to 90%, 90, while an electric bus, and considering the current energy mix in the Indonesia grid with a high degree of fossil fuels, only has the potential to lower CO2 emissions by around 15%, 15 or 15. So from Scania, we see that we will really strongly recommend cities in Indonesia that are really ambitious in their efforts to lower CO2 emissions to strongly consider using alternative fuel or renewable fuel buses until the grid in Indonesia is also the energy mix is more sustainable in the grid in Indonesia. So to conclude Scania's view, we believe electrification is the future. but we believe that we can get more bang for the buck here and now to reduce CO2 emissions by using renewable energy. And considering the energy mix in Indonesia, we see a greater potential in these renewable fuels rather than electric buses, if CO2 is the most important target. And we from Scania and our distributor United Tractors are of course here to help any cities in Indonesia wanting to make this transition into a decarbonized future. So thank you very much, Lydia, and everyone listening in.
Thank you, Ted. Thank you very much for the interesting presentation, starting by -30 that we can have in Sweden to +30 in Indonesia. That is, of course, a huge difference, and challenges and solutions are coming with it. It was very interesting to see the film. 400 city buses are running in Indonesia. And you're driving the shift to sustainable society. Exciting to hear that. Also, renewable fuels addressing other issues, as you mentioned, clean buses, lower carbon, reducing climate change. I also liked the end of drive away from it with a Scania bus. You finished off by lower CO2 emissions by 90%. With renewable fuels. Please get in contact again with us, smartcitysweden.com, or with our speakers directly. Thank you, Ted. And now over to you, Anna. Anna Wilkins, Evolution Road, Innovation Skåne. This is the region of south of Sweden. Anna, that is with us today, with talk about electric road systems, which is the future of transportation. Please, Anna, the floor is yours.
Hello, Lydia, and everyone. Delighted to be here, and so happy to be able to present to you the project that I'm representing, Evolution Road. And I will be sharing with you a presentation.
Sorry, there is some just small noises. I think it's the papers on your desk, perhaps. Thank you.
As still as possible.
Thank you.
And let's see, Lydia, can you see
yeah, it's
image?
Perfect. Perfect, Anna. I can see your presentation and I can hear you. Please.
Fantastic, thank you. So everyone, Sweden is a pioneer when it comes to electric road systems. And we have 4 different sites on public roads here in Sweden. And I'm here to present the latest addition to the family. The project is called Evolution Road. And as Lydia said, my name is Anna Wilkins. I work for a company called Innovation Skåne. Electric road systems is a charging infrastructure that enables continuous supply of electricity without having to carry the energy on board our vehicles. Swedish domestic transportation accounts for about 1/3 of the country's total greenhouse gas emissions. And these emissions are, as you might know, after listening to the presentations today, the emissions are to be reduced by 70% by 2030 and also hit 0 by 2045. And in order for the transition to fossil-free and electric vehicles to take place, we need an accessible and efficient charging infrastructure. Electric roads have great potential to help in this transition, and it greatly reduces the need for batteries in our vehicles. The project is commissioned by the Swedish Transport Administration to test and demonstrate electric road systems. And the purpose is to gain knowledge and explore future implementation. The test site is situated in southern Sweden. As you can see on the map to the left, it's bordering to Denmark on the west coast, so very close to Denmark. The test site is also situated in the city central in the city of Lund. And we build it in two directions, from the west and from the east. Trying out two different, the same technology, but two different types or variants. Let's look at a few of the benefits of electric roads. Well, vehicles are charging both with the electric roads. Vehicles are both charging while stationary or while driving, eliminating this needs for stop to recharge, saving time, of course. This solution also eliminates the need for heavy batteries, saving costs, as well as reducing the weight of the vehicle. We use existing road infrastructure, and the installation is fairly quick and simple. We have done it a few times here now at our testing site, and I will have a few pictures from the site to show you, and also I have a short video. I would also like to point out that this technology works for all types of vehicles. And of course, the benefits are greater the more vehicles that use the road. This picture gives you a brief overview of how it works, the technology. The technology used in our project is a conductive ground-mounted solution, which means that the vehicle has direct contact with the charging rails on the road through a pickup installed under the vehicle. And the pickup provides an efficient power transfer of up to 300 kilowatts from the rails to the vehicle for both propulsion and to charge the batteries. As I mentioned, two different variants of the same technology is tested. A charging rail that is placed on top of the asphalt, and also one that is immersed into the asphalt or into the road. And as an approved electric vehicle approaches the road, the vehicle sends an encrypted radio signal to the rail, and charging is automatically started. And the charging is within short segments of the road, only 1 meter long. The rail connects with pickups under the vehicle, as mentioned, charging the vehicle's batteries. And after the vehicle has left this road, the power is supplied by the batteries. Other services built into this rail are, for example, payment services, access control, and safety solutions. This is a public-private partnership. It sprung from research and development by the Swedish company Enroad, together with the Faculty of Engineering at Lund University. And the project is a consortia of partners from industry, academia, and the public sector. And as mentioned, the Swedish Transport Administration is the main financier. Okay, so I have a short video, about 2 minutes. And let me know if you can watch and hear.
Enroad is a Swedish clean tech company leading the innovation in how we electrify transportation. We have built and installed our first electric road in Lund, Sweden, developed in collaboration with Lund University. Since 2019, we've been a part of a 9-member consortium with the goal of building, demonstrating, and testing electric roads in Lund. Here's our production facility where we assemble and put the rails together. They are 10 meters long, with all electronics and software self-contained. The rails can be mounted either on top of existing roads or integrated into the asphalt for a level surface. We need only one power station every 1.5 kilometers to connect the road to the grid. A pickup with sliding contacts under the bus transfers power into the engine while simultaneously charging the bus's battery so that it can continue driving outside the electric road network. Our electric road also has additional smart functionality with sensors every meter. This allows us to measure energy consumption in real time on each vehicle. Our innovative technology allows us the ability to activate the power 1 meter at a time, directly under the vehicle, which makes the electric road efficient and safe at any speed. A short section of our rail can also serve as an automatic charging point for parked charging. Elon Road works equally well for cars, long-haul trucks, and large buses. We envision the future of road-based transportation as a larger charging network with both stationary charging points and electric roads. You should not have to think about charging since it is handled automatically. Our solution means that you can drive longer with smaller battery packs using our natural resources more efficiently. Forget about range anxiety. It's time to embrace range happiness.
Okay.
My name is Karen Ebbinghaus and I'm the CEO of Elon Road. Our electric
Okay, so that was a short movie from the company Elon Road producing the electric road solution. And I want to point out that this is a connected solution, enabling, for instance, access control and the ability to measure energy consumption and much more. Here you also have a picture from the company, but I wanted to highlight this and show you the range of applications to be used on highways, in public transports, even in underground in the mining industry. And this is what the rail submerged into the asphalt looks like. And I would also like to mention that the next step on the Swedish electric road system roadmap is to build a pilot, a 30-kilometer pilot. And that will be the country's first permanent ERS or electric road system. And the latest news I've heard about that is that it's starting in 2024. And with that, I have finished my presentation and I'm ready for questions or comments. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you very much for presenting electric road systems. Sweden is a pioneer, as you mentioned, in electric road systems that reduces the need for batteries in our vehicles. You mentioned the direct contact with the rails on the road. It could be on top of the asphalt or into the road. Very exciting. You talked about services, safety solutions, payment services, everything that is provided within the system. To finish off very quickly, very interesting pilot, 30, did you say 30 kilometers pilot for electric road system that will start in 2024.
Those are the plans as of the latest I've heard. That's correct, yes.
Exciting. We're looking forward to that. And that brings us to the end of the today's presentations, I would like to once again direct a big thank you to all our speakers of today, and also to all the participants listening in, taking part, asking questions. You will continue to do so. And before I will hand over to Mr. John Rispati, who is the chairman of the MASCE, I will just hand over for the word to Mr. Paul Westin from the Swedish Energy Agency. Please, Paul, the word is for you. Thank you very much from me.
Thank you very much, Lydia, and thank you all the speakers. I think it's maybe not my time to speak, but I will be happy to join the a question and answer session. So I think we should hand over back to the Indonesian moderator, or maybe Pafirman.
Yeah, Paul, yeah, there are some questions, especially regarding the, the policy from Sweden. And especially that asking about how far Sweden government effort to give support to Indonesian government or private companies who has less equity, so that they can have enhanced and complete their feasibility studies and proposal from become bankable. So yeah, that's probably that one of the key questions that are being raised.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I understand that question. It's a very big one. First of all, if I talk about Sweden and sort of bilateral aid, etc., Sweden is not considering Indonesia as a bilateral aid country anymore. We do have, from our development cooperation agency in Bangkok, we do have multilateral or regional programs. However, Sweden is also a very big contributor to the World Bank, to the Asian Development Bank and other institutions. So through those systems, there will be development assistance available that originates from Sweden. So that's one question, one answer on that issue. But we really consider Indonesia as having grown up. You are now a G20 country. So we would like to work in partnership with Indonesia, with the Indonesian government, business to business, etc. And when it comes to investments, of course, equity and capital is available from Swedish investors and large companies. And the Swedish government is also supporting investments through the Swedish excellent export credit system. Sweden is a AAA rated country, so the possibility to find financial solutions for projects when engaging Swedish companies is very good, and so Business Sweden in Jakarta obviously can guide you in processes towards the Swedish Export Credit Board and others. We also have one institution that is called Swedfund, and they are able to fund feasibility studies when there is a project where there is a project owner in Indonesia, for example. So for example, a municipality or an Indonesian company that has a project, is possible to get funding for well-defined feasibility studies through the Swedfund agency. So that's maybe my answer from the Swedish perspective. When it comes to the, as I know, the Indonesian perspective also, I would like to say that it's also important to influence the policy of Indonesia, to allocate your government, state government funding, government budget in a more sustainable manner. And obviously, phasing out fossil fuel subsidies would be one way of freeing funds. And you can still support the poorer segments of the population through more direct assistance to them, I believe. And one topic that we have been discussing in other settings is, of course, how to perhaps introduce a small but a carbon tax that would be quite easy to administer and might free up some funding actually. So I think these are some of the ideas, but also very happy to see that there are also policy measures taken by Parliament on that and on a better regulation for renewable electricity, for example. So I think Indonesia is on the right track. And yeah, so I'm happy also that we are also working together with Indonesia on policy development, also in international organizations.
There is a suggestion, Paul, from Pak Erwin Kasim. Sweden need to develop some pilot projects in Indonesia. So to do some small investment to transfer technology and improve demand together. What do you think, Paul?
No, absolutely. And you can see on Firman's screen, we have the Business Accelerator program. And so we have brought into Indonesia interesting companies that are interested in investing in pilot projects in different areas. So that's one of the tools that we're working with. Obviously, we heard a lot of companies presenting today, very nice presentations from the west and south of Sweden. So I would encourage those companies also to contact us, and then we can sort of adapt their offerings to an Indonesian context, because I think that is very necessary. Because we cannot just transfer technology as it is implemented in Sweden without considering sort of the context of Indonesia. So that's one way of how we work together with Business Sweden in Jakarta and Swedish Embassy and other stakeholders, including, of course, Maske and METI and other very important organizations. So that's another way of how we do work together.
Yes, yeah, because we have some presenters today, and I think that a lot of some questions already addressed by the speakers. And but then yeah, if you still have any question, you can ask through me or through Lydia, and then yeah, we will address the questions to the presenters. Yeah, I would like to invite Pak John if you have any questions, Pak.
Yeah, thank you very much, Firman. I would like to say thank you to Paul particularly, and to of course to Swedish Energy Agency for allowing us to see some aspect of modernity and innovation for sustainability in Sweden. I think this medium by visiting to Sweden through the cyberspace is a very excellent way to get information from how the world is moving towards sustainability. This is certainly very, very much useful for Indonesian participants of our conference to get to know more about the technology from Sweden. One particular question for me that's very, very interesting to me is the Elon road solution, the electric road. I wonder if that kind of system is working for a hot country like Indonesia. That was my only question to this. The rest I think we can communicate with you, Firman, in the days to come, if there are interest in that technology.
Okay, probably Anna, can you answer this shortly?
Yes. Hello. You're most welcome to contact me, and I will provide you with contact to the company Elon Road as well, who might be better at asking questions about you know, both the product but also the business of theirs. I would like to say that, you know, the technology has been tested in Swedish weather conditions as of now, ranging from from Swedish summer with 25 plus Celsius degrees to minus, wintertime conditions as well. So I wouldn't be able to answer the hot climate in Indonesia, but I'm sure there are others from the Elon Road who would be able to provide you with the answer. So I will definitely connect you with them.
It makes me curious because I know that has been tested in Sweden from the range of the temperature, like you said. But in my experience living in Europe many years ago, the high temperature there is very much different than the high temperature in Indonesia. That's why, our asphalt can melt down because of the heat. Yeah, that sometimes is happening. That's why my question, curious question. Thank you for.
It's a good question, Pa. And I think we have only peak temperatures about 31 or 2 days per year, maybe.
Yeah.
So it's a good question. But I'm more concerned about the rainfall. You have hujan banget.
Yes, that's right. Okay, that hujan is for you, snow for us. Yeah.
And I agree, as you mentioned earlier, Paul, that it's a good idea that the companies that have been presenting today in the program can get in contact with you at the Swedish Energy Agency to see how you together can take this further, for example, as in Indonesia.
Yeah, absolutely, and I would recommend them to contact the Firman at Business Sweden, and when we accept companies to our program, we will adapt technologies to the Indonesian context, both when it comes to climate and policy.
Okay, I hope the next time that you send delegation to Indonesia, Paul, those companies that have presented this will be included in that team. So it's quite interesting. Yeah.
So yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, Lydia. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you, Pak John, Pak Erwin, and then I saw Pak Toto also. Thank you very much, everyone, for having this virtual visit. Please contact me if you have any questions. And I think the Pak John and Pak Toto, you have my contact if there is any question. Please contact Pak Toto and Pak John so that he can forward it to me. And see you in the next opportunity. Thank you very much and have a good day.
Thank you very much. Once again, Paul, Lydia, and everybody who has been working on this excellent presentation.
Thank you, Ellen.
I thank you for the participants that have been hanging around from 2 more hours because we have one rooms from 8 o'clock to this end. So those who are
5 p.m.
who are staying this, I particularly thank you very much. So this is indication that this medium on this program is quite successful. I'm not praising myself, but this is the fact, I think. Thank you very much again to Swedish Energy Agency and
thank you,
Swedish
John.
of course. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you
Goodbye.
very much. Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Pak Toto.
Thank you. Bye. Terima kasih Bapak Ibu semua, para peserta.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Terima kasih pada 100 yang lebih ya yang
bertahan.
Terima kasih.
140 pada terakhir bertahan.
Ya. Terima kasih. Sampai jumpa.
Terima kasih Pak John.
Thank you. Bye.
Pak John, Pak Toto.
Terima kasih Bu Feni. kenapa kita harus berubah?
Indonesia terus bergerak cepat bersama roda ekonomi dunia. Sekarang saatnya beradaptasi, eranya bertransformasi. Tapi, kenapa masih ada yang ragu?
Digital, bukannya ribet ya? Emang usaha saya bisa diapain lagi pakai digital?
Sinkronisasi data pakai digital, aman kah? Untuk terus melesat, jadilah bagian dari perubahan sekarang juga. Saatnya bisnis Anda melesat bersama Telkomsel My Business. Partner terpercaya dengan rangkaian solusi digital. Untuk menunjang segala kebutuhan bisnis Anda menuju pencapaian yang lebih baik. Karena sekarang saatnya melesat.
Jadi gimana cuannya, Pak?
Kalau saya sih baru aja beli emas. Nih, lumayan kan? Siapa tahu naik lagi, ya nggak?
Kalau saya sih nggak main emas, Pak. Saya mendingan main ini aja. Nggak nyangka, beli setahun yang lalu, malah jadi untung.
Kalau saya, invest di tanaman hias aja. Bisa beli 1 lipat cuannya.
Mah, pada tinggi-tinggi ya cuannya. Tapi kalau cuan aja nggak fleksibel, repot juga ya. Kalau aku sih cari cuannya di sini aja. Bunganya lebih tinggi dari tabungan biasa loh.
Tapi jangan lupa, harus fleksibel diambilnya. Harus longgar. Dan semudah mindahin dari rekening kamu ke aku.
Wah, mantul!
Cuan lebih tinggi, fleksibilitas tak terbatas.
Bank Negara Indonesia bertekad untuk terus maju, bergerak membangun bangsa, dan berkomitmen untuk senantiasa memberikan yang terbaik bagi pemerintah dan masyarakat Indonesia. BNI ikut serta dalam mewujudkan sebuah konsep kota impian masa depan, kota cerdas yang terintegrasi dengan teknologi, mengelola sumber daya secara efektif melalui digitalisasi transaksi untuk meningkatkan kualitas hidup masyarakatnya. BNI sepenuhnya mendukung arahan pemerintah dalam mendorong penerapan program Smart City pada beberapa pemerintahan daerah di Indonesia. Penerapan Smart City pada sebuah kota atau kabupaten memberikan begitu banyak kemudahan dalam bertransaksi, transparansi pemerintahan daerah, dan meningkatkan kualitas pelayanan publik. Dengan jaringan cabang BNI yang luas, channel transaksi online yang beragam, Smart City telah sukses diaplikasikan di sebagian besar pemerintahan daerah di Indonesia. Dengan ikut berpartisipasi dalam mensukseskan program Smart City, BNI telah turut mewujudkan cashless society dalam meningkatkan pelayanan di daerah seperti digitalisasi dan transparansi proses transaksi keuangan pemerintah daerah, memberikan solusi untuk peningkatan penerimaan pajak asli daerah dengan sistem yang terintegrasi dan real-time online, dan meningkatkan kepercayaan publik terhadap transparansi retribusi, penyaluran anggaran, dan pelayanan pemerintah daerah. BNI menghadirkan solusi terbaik yang efektif dan efisien dalam membantu pengelolaan penyaluran anggaran daerah dengan BNI Direct SP2D Online. BNI juga membantu peningkatan pendapatan pajak asli daerah melalui solusi penerimaan pajak daerah serta solusi transaksi cashless lainnya. BNI terus berinovasi dan menyediakan solusi yang sejalan dengan dimensi-dimensi Smart City. Untuk Indonesia, kami selalu ada dimanapun, kapanpun. BNI, melayani negeri kebanggaan bangsa.
BNI.
It's easy to be blinded by the urgent issues facing our planet. But to shut our eyes is not in our DNA. We look at problems not as one big challenge. We break them down into a spectrum of solutions. Leveraging our pioneering and digital technologies to co-create innovative solutions with our partners and customers across the entire value chain. Powering efficiency by creating a smarter, more flexible power grid. powering resilience and reliability by digitalizing the energy value chain, powering safety by enabling cyber-secure infrastructure for mission-critical sectors, powering sustainability by integrating renewables into the power grid. We are two pioneers combining generations of expertise for a stronger, smarter, and greener future. Powering good for sustainable energy. Hitachi ABB Power Grids.
Siap, ya. Ini saya jalan ya.
Pak, tunggu, ini ada yang belum, Pak. Pak, ada tagihan pajak.
Oke.
Pak, gaji karyawan harus diotorisasi.
Beres. Halo Pak, pembayaran supplier harus segera jalan ya Pak. Oke.
Gampang. Lakukan semua transaksi harian perusahaan Anda. Anda dapat dengan mudah mengelola transfer management, billing payment, electricity payment, dan lainnya. Dengan BNI Direct Mobile, Anda dapat mengelola bisnis Anda 24 jam, kapanpun, dimanapun. Semua urusan jadi lebih mudah. Download BNI Direct Mobile.
BNI.
Menjadi pemimpin butuh persiapan. Untuk wujudkan mimpi satu demi satu, harus bekerja sama mempersiapkan masa depan untuk hadapi segala rintangan. Dan gapai kemenangan, raih hasil terbaik untuk perusahaan. Dengan payroll dari BTN Solusi yang sistemnya praktis dan otomatis. Juga benefit selangit. Wujudkan impian dengan kredit ringan. Jaringan ATM-nya luas. Karyawan juga makin berkembang dengan pelatihan finansial dan wirausaha. Dan pastinya bisa bantu karyawan miliki rumah lebih mudah dengan KPR guys. Karena hidup kita gak cuma tentang hari ini, tapi juga untuk esok nanti. Bersama BTN Solusi, impian jadi terlaksana. Dari Bank BTN.
Sekarang semua serba listrik, masak juga. Karena kita kan pakai kompor induksi, bentuknya keren, modern, terlihat canggih. Ini tidak ada apinya. Anak-anak bisa aman masak pakai kompor ini. Padahal pancinya panas loh.
Hidup sendirian itu butuhlah yang praktis-praktis. Kayak kompor ini, mudah dibersihkan, mudah digunakan. Tinggal pencet, nyaman, bisa dipindah-pindah. Jadi bisa cari posisi enak untuk masak hotpot. Dan video callan deh biar seru.
Kompor induksi itu suhunya dapat diatur sesuai kebutuhan masak dan stabil. Jadi bisa lebih cepat. Pelanggan gak perlu nunggu lama. Dan kita bisa melayani lebih banyak. Omset pun jadi naik. Yang jelas, kompor induksi itu tidak ada emisi CO2. Berarti ramah lingkungan. Karena dengan listrik, hidup lebih baik.
Kita baru saja menang tender. Siapkan bank garansi untuk jaminan pekerjaannya.
Oke, saatnya ke bank. List segala persyaratan, pastikan semua dokumen lengkap.
Tolong semua dipercepat ya.
Untuk itu, gue diandalkan.
Loh, tanda tangannya mana?
Aku lupa tanda tangannya ibu. Bu, maaf.
Makanya pakai bank garansi. Langsung buka di gb-online.bni.co.id. Isi application, lanjut approve, release, data submit deh. Semua sudah tahu bank garansi kan? BNI.
Nggak perlu ribet kalau ada cara mudah untuk punya rumah. BTN Property pertama di Indonesia. Aplikasi properti milik bank dengan 4D Virtual Survey. Survei lokasinya secara online. Pengajuan KPR-nya juga secara online. So simple. Untuk new experience membeli rumah secara online, cuma di BTN Property. Solusi mudah, miliki rumah. Download aplikasinya sekarang.
Wherever you go, whatever you do, you are never far from ABB Drives and Motors. From cooling to warming a building, we help you hit the right temperature while avoiding high monthly energy bills. We also make sure you can squeeze out every gram of sugar without wasting a drop of energy. And for extracting raw materials, we are breaking new ground in safe, efficient electric mines. We provide the power to bend metal and the precision to craft paper. Our smart motion technology enables oil, gas, and chemicals to flow and brings uninterrupted water and power for millions of people around the world. ABB's traction technologies, from drives and motors to battery storage systems, make rail transport even more sustainable. Wherever you look, ABB Smart Motion keeps your world turning.
Butuh keberanian untuk kembali melangkah maju. Meski banyak mimpi yang tertahan, menyerah bukan pilihan. Kini saatnya melangkah bersama. Dengan keyakinan dan semangat, membuka lembaran baru. Kini saatnya menggapai semua tujuan, merancang masa depan, mewujudkan cita-cita kemakmuran. Kini saatnya kata-kata menjadi perbuatan nyata untuk kita semua. HSBC, kini saatnya melesat.
Kenapa kita harus berubah?
Indonesia terus bergerak cepat bersama roda ekonomi dunia. Sekarang saatnya beradaptasi, eranya bertransformasi. Tapi, kenapa masih ada yang ragu?
Digital, bukannya ribet ya? Emang usaha saya bisa diapain lagi pakai digital?
Sinkronisasi data pakai digital, aman kah?
Untuk terus melesat, jadilah bagian dari perubahan sekarang juga. Saatnya bisnis Anda melesat bersama Telkomsel My Business. Partner terpercaya dengan rangkaian solusi digital. Untuk menunjang segala kebutuhan bisnis Anda menuju pencapaian yang lebih baik. Karena sekarang saatnya melesat.
The recording has stopped.
Jadi gimana cuannya, Pak?
Kalau saya sih baru aja beli emas. Nih, lumayan kan? Siapa tahu naik lagi, ya nggak?
Kalau saya sih nggak main emas, Pak. Saya mendingan main ini aja. Nggak nyangka, beli setahun yang lalu, malah jadi untung.
Kalau saya invest di tanaman hias aja, bisa beli berlipat cuannya.
Mah, pada tinggi-tinggi ya cuannya. Tapi kalau cuan aja nggak fleksibel, repot juga ya. Kalau aku sih cari cuannya di sini aja. Bunganya lebih tinggi dari tabungan biasa loh.
Tapi jangan lupa, harus fleksibel diambilnya. Harus longgar. Dan semudah mindahin dari rekening kamu ke aku.
Wah, mantul!
Cuan lebih tinggi, fleksibilitas tak terbatas.
Bank Negara Indonesia bertekad untuk terus maju, bergerak membangun bangsa, dan berkomitmen untuk senantiasa memberikan yang terbaik bagi pemerintah dan masyarakat Indonesia. BNI ikut serta dalam mewujudkan sebuah konsep kota impian masa depan, kota cerdas yang terintegrasi dengan teknologi, mengelola sumber daya secara efektif, melalui digitalisasi transaksi untuk meningkatkan kualitas hidup masyarakatnya. BNI sepenuhnya mendukung arahan pemerintah dalam mendorong penerapan program Smart City pada beberapa pemerintahan daerah di Indonesia. Penerapan Smart City pada sebuah kota atau kabupaten memberikan begitu banyak kemudahan dalam bertransaksi, transparansi pemerintahan daerah, dan meningkatkan kualitas pelayanan publik. Dengan jaringan cabang BNI yang luas, channel transaksi online yang beragam, Smart City telah sukses diaplikasikan di sebagian besar pemerintahan daerah di Indonesia. Dengan ikut berpartisipasi dalam mensukseskan program Smart City, BNI telah turut mewujudkan cashless society dalam meningkatkan pelayanan di daerah seperti digitalisasi dan transparansi proses transaksi keuangan pemerintah daerah, memberikan solusi untuk peningkatan penerimaan pajak asli daerah dengan sistem yang terintegrasi dan real-time online, dan meningkatkan kepercayaan publik terhadap transparansi retribusi, penyaluran anggaran, dan pelayanan pemerintah daerah. BNI menghadirkan solusi terbaik yang efektif dan efisien dalam membantu pengelolaan penyaluran anggaran daerah dengan BNI Direct SP2D Online. BNI juga membantu peningkatan pendapatan pajak asli daerah melalui solusi penerimaan pajak daerah serta solusi transaksi cashless lainnya. BNI terus berinovasi dan menyediakan solusi yang sejalan dengan dimensi-dimensi Smart City. Untuk Indonesia, kami selalu ada, dimanapun, kapanpun. BNI, melayani negeri kebanggaan bangsa.
BNI.
It's easy to be blinded by the urgent issues facing our planet. But to shut our eyes is not in our DNA. We look at problems not as one big challenge. We break them down into a spectrum of solutions. Leveraging our pioneering and digital technologies to co-create innovative solutions with our partners and customers across the entire value chain. Powering efficiency by creating a smarter, more flexible power grid. Powering resilience and reliability by digitalizing the energy value chain. Powering safety by enabling cyber-secure infrastructure for mission-critical sectors. Powering sustainability by integrating renewables into the power grid. We are two pioneers combining generations of expertise for a stronger, smarter, and greener future. Powering good for sustainable energy. Hitachi ABB Power Grids.
Siap, ya. Ini saya jalan ya.
Pak, tunggu, ini ada yang belum, Pak. Pak, ada tagihan pajak.
Oke.
Pak, gaji karyawan harus diotorisasi.
Beres.
Halo Pak, pembayaran supplier harus segera jalan ya Pak.
Oke. Gampang.
Lakukan semua transaksi harian perusahaan Anda. Anda dapat dengan mudah mengelola transfer management, billing payment, electricity payment, dan lainnya. Dengan BNI Direct Mobile, Anda dapat mengelola bisnis Anda 24 jam, kapanpun, dimanapun. Semua urusan jadi lebih mudah. Download BNI Direct Mobile.
BNI.
Menjadi pemimpin butuh persiapan. Untuk wujudkan mimpi satu demi satu, harus bekerja sama mempersiapkan masa depan untuk hadapi segala rintangan. Dan gapai kemenangan, raih hasil terbaik untuk perusahaan. Dengan payroll dari BTN Solusi yang sistemnya praktis dan otomatis. Juga benefit selangit. Wujudkan impian dengan kredit ringan. Jaringan ATM-nya luas. Karyawan juga makin berkembang dengan pelatihan finansial dan wirausaha. Dan pastinya bisa bantu karyawan miliki rumah lebih mudah dengan KPR, guys. Karena hidup kita gak cuma tentang hari ini, tapi juga untuk esok nanti. Bersama BTN Solusi, impian jadi terlaksana. Dari Bank BTN.
Sekarang semua serba listrik, masak juga. Karena kita kan pakai kompor induksi, bentuknya keren, modern, terlihat canggih. Ini tidak ada apinya. Anak-anak bisa aman masak pakai kompor ini. Padahal pancinya panas loh.
Hidup sendirian itu butuhlah yang praktis-praktis. Kayak kompor ini, mudah dibersihkan, mudah digunakan. Tinggal pencet, nyaman, bisa dipindah-pindah. Jadi bisa cari posisi enak untuk masak hotpot. Dan video callan deh biar seru.
Kompor induksi itu suhunya dapat diatur sesuai kebutuhan masak dan stabil. Jadi bisa lebih cepat. Pelanggan gak perlu nunggu lama. Dan kita bisa melayani lebih banyak. Omset pun jadi naik. Yang jelas, kompor induksi itu tidak ada emisi CO2. Berarti ramah lingkungan. Karena dengan listrik, hidup lebih baik.
Kita baru saja menang tender. Siapkan bank garansi untuk jaminan pekerjaannya.
Oke, saatnya ke bank. List segala persyaratan, pastikan semua dokumen lengkap.
Tolong semua dipercepat ya.
Untuk itu, gue diandalkan.
Loh, tanda tangannya mana?
Aku lupa tanda tangannya ibu. Bu, maaf.
Makanya pakai bank garansi. Langsung buka di gb-online.bni.co.id. Isi application, lanjut approve, release, data submit deh. Semua sudah tahu bank garansi kan?
BNI.
Nggak perlu ribet kalau ada cara mudah untuk punya rumah. BTN Property pertama di Indonesia. Aplikasi properti milik bank dengan 4D Virtual Survey. Survei lokasinya secara online. Pengajuan KPR-nya juga secara online. So simple. Untuk new experience membeli rumah secara online, cuma di BTN Property. Solusi mudah miliki rumah. Download aplikasinya sekarang.
Wherever you go, whatever you do, you are never far from ABB Drives and Motors. From cooling to warming a building, we help you hit the right temperature while avoiding high monthly energy bills. We also make sure you can squeeze out every gram of sugar without wasting a drop of energy. And for extracting raw materials, we are breaking new ground in safe, efficient electric mines. We provide the power to bend metal and the precision to craft paper. Our smart motion technology enables oil, gas, and chemicals to flow and brings uninterrupted water and power for millions of people around the world. ABB's traction technologies, from drives and motors to battery storage systems, make rail transport even more sustainable. Wherever you look, ABB Smart Motion keeps your world turning.
Butuh keberanian untuk kembali melangkah maju. Meski banyak mimpi yang tertahan, menyerah bukan pilihan. Kini saatnya melangkah bersama. Dengan keyakinan dan semangat, membuka lembaran baru. Kini saatnya menggapai semua tujuan. Merancang masa depan, mewujudkan cita-cita kemakmuran. Kini, saatnya kata-kata menjadi perbuatan nyata untuk kita semua. HSBC, kini saatnya melesat.
The recording has stopped.